my dear students. Hope you are all fine and happy to see you after a very long gap. Okay, so today we are going to discuss the third unit, thermal physics. Okay, already we have discussed some of the topics in this unit. What is meant by temperature, what is absolute temperature, what is Kelvin scale of temperature, what is thermal equilibrium, everything we have discussed. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about thermal energy. Okay, this also I have explained you in the introduction. What is thermal energy? Okay, so you can consider a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. Okay, consider a cup of tea. Okay, consider a cup of tea which you have placed it on a table. Okay, so after some time what happens? Yes, what happens means the hotness of this is a hot coffee. Okay, the hotness of the coffee gets reduced. How it get reduced? When we are placing it on the table, okay, the heat from the cup of coffee is transferred to this table, okay, because this cup of coffee is at higher temperature when compared to this table. So what happened? The heat gets transferred from this cup of coffee to the table. Okay. Similarly, you take an ice cubes or ice water and keep it on a table. What happens? Yes. After some time, the coldness of that cup of cold water gets reduced. Is it right or not? Yes. So how it gets reduced? That is the heat from the surrounding. If you cup of cold water, the cold water when compared to the cold water, the surrounding the temperature is high. The cold water temperature or surrounding temperature, it is high. So what happens? The heat from the surrounding is transferred to the cup of cold water. Now what happens? The cup of cold water, the coldness of the water get reduced. Okay, transfer when these both temperature becomes equal. Surrounding temperature in the temperature equal transfer. That condition is called as equal. That condition is called as thermal equilibrium. Okay, so this is what happens in the heat transfer. Either the heat transfers from the surrounding to the object or from the object to the surrounding. Anyway, the heat will transfer from the body with higher temperature to the body with lower temperature. Okay, so this is called as this transfer of energy. So, object energy in object transfer from higher to lower. So, this transfer of energy we are calling it as thermal energy. Okay, this transfer of heat energy is called as thermal energy. Okay, so this is the definition of thermal energy. When a hot object is in contact with a cold object, a form of energy flows from the hot object to the cold object. Always the energy flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. In case of hot coffee, heat flows from hot coffee to the surrounding. In case of cold water, heat transfers from surrounding to the cold water. Okay, always from hot to cold object, which is known as thermal energy. That energy is called as thermal energy. இந்த மாதிரி நடக்கிற இந்த ப்ராசஸ்க்கு இந்த ஒரு செயலுக்கு என்ன நேம் அப்படினா it is called as heating. Okay, the process in which heat flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. Okay, when the heat flows from higher temperature body to the lower temperature body, that process we are calling it as heating. Okay, this is called as heating. When the heat flows from higher temperature to lower temperature, that process we are calling it as heating. So as I told, the heating can be, what is meant by heating? The process by which heat energy transfers from higher temperature to lower temperature. So this heating can be done. எப்படி எல்லா objects எல்லாம் heat ஆகுது, அதாவது higher length, lower temperature எப்படி இந்த transfer நடக்குது? How the heating can be done? It can be done by three ways. Okay, this you have studied in your lower classes. The heating can be done by conduction, convection and radiation. Okay, I think I no need to explain about all these in detail. Anyway, I will give you this tips. What is meant by conduction? Okay, suppose you are heating a vessel, okay, full of water. Okay, you are heating a vessel full of water. Okay, so this vessel, it is solid. Okay, so it is in contact with some other object. Okay, heating object, solid. So இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு object heat ஆகுறது அந்த solidல. Okay, so you know that in solid, if you take a solid, here everything is made up of atoms and molecules. Here also so many atoms are there, and you know that in solids the atoms are very tightly packed. Okay, the atoms are very tightly packed. This is in case of solid. When you take a liquid, okay, they are loosely packed. Okay, they are loosely packed. When you take a gas, they are very far away from each other. Okay, now when you apply temperature, you are heating, okay, you are applying temperature. What happens, actually what happens means, since they are very tightly packed, they will vibrate. And the heat apply ஆனோனே the atoms அதோட இடத்துல இருந்துச்சு அப்படியே vibrate ஆகும். Okay, they will vibrate in their places. இது கூட vibrate ஆகும். இதோட vibration இங்க இருக்கும், இங்க இருக்கும், இங்க இருக்கும். இந்த மாதிரி the heat energy get transfers. Okay, so this type of heating is called as conduction. இந்த மாதிரி அந்த atoms வந்து அது vibrate ஆகி ஒன்னு vibrate ஆகி ஒன்னு மேல, ஒன்னு vibrate ஆகி இன்னொன்னு மேல, இந்த மாதிரி vibrate ஆகுது. Okay, solid க்கு உள்ளாடி நடக்கிற அந்த heating transfer we are calling it as conduction. Okay, another type the heating can be done is convection. That is in the fluid. Okay, heat transfer inside the fluid. That means in a liquid. Okay, so in a liquid when we apply heat, okay, so this will move. Idukulladiye ipdi move agum. Okay, since they are loosely packed, they will move. So the heat transfer inside the liquid we are calling it as convection. Okay, what is radiation? After getting heated, adhaadu ipo radiation means in case of gases, when you adhaadu enna agumna ipdi neenga heat பண்ணும்போது the heat get transferred to the environment. Okay, adhaadu vapor ஆகி மேல போகுது இல்லையா, so the heat get transferred to the environment. So such a type of heating is called as what? Radiation. Understood? That is solid, liquid na fluid ku உள்ளாடி நடக்கிறது, fluid ல இருந்து environment க்கு போகிறது. These are called as three different types of heating methods: conduction, convection and radiation. The next one is what is this heat? It is a scalar or a vector quantity. Yes, heat is a scalar quantity. Why it is a scalar quantity? Because it has only magnitude. Okay, it has only magnitude and no direction. Direction irukadu, inda direction da appdi we cannot say. Adukku vanda alavu irukum, ivlo temperature appdi we can measure it. Okay, so it has only magnitude and no direction, so it is a scalar quantity. Then what is the SI unit of heat? The SI unit of heat is joule. Okay, because it is a form of energy. What is the unit of energy? It is joule. Similarly, the SI unit of heat is joule. Okay, so now you know what is meant by thermal energy, what is heating, what is the quantity it is, what is the unit it is. Okay, so as I told you, suppose you take a vessel. Okay, you take a vessel and there are ice cubes inside the vessel. Okay, so ice cubes, this is hot water. For hot water எடுத்து அந்த ice cube போடுறீங்க, you are dipping it inside it. So what happens, since the water is very hot, the heat transfers from the water to the ice cube. So the ice cube now started to melt. Okay, so இங்க என்ன நடக்குது, heat, in the process we will call it as heating அப்படினு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா. ஏனா heat வந்து hot waterல இருந்து ice cubeல போகுது, that process we are calling it as heating because high to lower temperature. Similarly, at the same time what is happening, that because of this ice cube, இது வந்து heat gain பண்ணிடுச்சு இல்லையா, அந்த ice cube heat gain பண்ணி அது வந்து என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு, மெல்ட் ஆகும். So because of this heat gain, this hot water will lose some heat இல்லையா, heat வந்து நம்ம அழிக்கவும் முடியாது, ஆகவும், it will transfer, right? So இது இங்க கொடுத்ததுனால இது கொஞ்சம் heat gain பண்ணி மெல்ட் ஆகுது. அப்ப at the same time what happened to this hot water, its temperature getting reduced. hot water ஓட temperature இப்ப reduce ஆகுது. ஏன்னா இது வந்து கொடுத்த heat அது gain பண்ணிருக்கு, இது கொஞ்சம் lose பண்ணிடுச்சு, தன்னோட heat கொஞ்சம் இழந்துடுச்சு இல்லையா. So this becomes now cool, that is its temperature is getting reduced. So this process we are calling it as cooling. புரியுதா? If the heat transfers from the, அதாவது இந்த மாதிரி புரியுதா, அதோட reverse process, அதை நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம் அப்படின்னா we are calling it as cooling. Okay, so this is called as cooling. Actually we will normally use the term only heating. Okay, we will use the heating process only. So these are all about this thermal energy. Clear? What is meant by thermal energy? Thermal energy is nothing but, what is thermal energy? If the heat transfers from the hot object to the cold object. It is called that transfer of energy is called as thermal energy. What is heating? That process we are calling it as heating. Cooling means the reverse process. Okay, it is called as cooling. What is its quantity and what is the SI unit. So now let us discuss about the characteristic features of this heat energy transfer. What are the characteristics? அதாவது heat energy transfer ஆகும்போது அதுக்கு என்னென்ன தன்மைகள் இருக்கும் அப்படின்றத let us discuss. The first one is heat always flows from higher temperature to lower temperatures. As we discussed so many times, the heat will always flow from higher temperature to the lowest temperature. This is the first most important characteristic. The second one is the mass of the system is not changed when it is heated or cooled. Okay, suppose you are taking a cup of water and you are heating it. Even if you heat the water, the mass, that is the water oda alavu, it won't change. Okay, the mass of that body, of that system, it will not change. Okay, adoda mass vandu change agada, adu appadiye dhaan irukum. Okay, there is no change. Either the heat pannalum seri illa cool pannalum seri, the mass of the system will not be changed. Mass means adoda weight, adu appadiye dhaan irukum, adu change agadu. The third one, heat gain is equal to heat loss. As I already discussed, if you keep a ice cube inside the hot water, the ice cubes will gain some heat from the hot water. அது எவ்வளவு heat gain பண்ணிருக்கும் அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, இது எவ்வளவு heat இழந்ததோ, இது எவ்வளவு heat கொடுத்ததோ, hot water எவ்வளவு heat அதுக்கு கொடுத்ததோ அதை தான் அது gain பண்ணிருக்கும் இல்லையா? So heat gain is equal to heat loss. Okay, heat gained by the hot body, or sorry, by the cold body is equal to heat lost by the hot body. சரியா? So these are the three important characteristics in a heat energy transfer. So as I already told that the SI unit of heat is Kelvin. There are some other units also, that is calorie and kilocalorie. Okay, these are also the other forms of SI units of heat. Okay, so let us discuss what is calorie. Calorie means if you are taking 1 gram of water, okay, 1 gram water irukudhu appadina assume panikonga. If you are taking 1 gram of water and the 1 gram water 1 degree Celsius temperature ku rise pannum. Okay, for example, this is a cup of water, 1 gram of water. Okay, now this the temperature of this water is 32 degree. Okay, if you want to increase this temperature by 33 degree Celsius, okay, so for that, okay, அதுக்கு எவ்வளவு heat தேவைப்படுதோ அதுதான் என்ன சொல்றோம் 1 calorie. புரியுதா? 1 calorie means what? The amount of heat in the one, அதாவது இது 1 gram of water, the amount of heat required to heat this 1 gram of water to raise its temperature to 1 degree Celsius. புரியுதா? 1 gram water அது இருக்கிற செல்சியஸ்ல இருந்து 1 டிகிரி கூட இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகிறதுக்கு எவ்வளவு ஹீட், நீங்க எவ்வளவு ஹீட் கொடுக்குறீங்களோ that is called as calorie. Similarly, what is kilocalorie? 1 kilogram of water. சரியா? If you are taking 1 kilogram of water and you are applying heat to increase to 1 degree Celsius. 1 kilogram water 1 degree Celsius க்கு heat பண்ணணும், increase ஆக்க வைக்கணும். அதுக்கு எவ்வளவு heat தேவைப்படுது? That is called as 1 kilocalorie. Understood? Amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water to 1 degree Celsius. Okay, is called as calorie. Similarly, amount of heat required to rise 1 kilogram of water by 1 degree Celsius is called as 1 kilocalorie. Hope you could understood about all these things. What is thermal energy, what is heating, what is cooling, and what are the SI unit of thermal energy, and what are the characteristics of this heat energy transfer. Thank you for watching.